Welcome to the Celtic Myth Pod Show, bringing the tales and stories of the ancient Celts to your fireside.
Episode SP34, Imbolg Holiday Special for Brighid.
Hello, welcome to the Celtic Myth Pod Show. I'm Gary.
And I'm Ruth. Thank you very much for joining us for our Imbolg Holiday Special, especially dedicated to Brighid, because it's her time of year.
Yes, and we've got a wonderful show for you to welcome in the spring. In the southern hemisphere, of course, instead of planting our crops, we're bringing in the harvest with Lunasa. So for you, we'll be paying honour to Lu's opposite number as the wheel of the year turns. The spring goddess, Brighid.
You'll find all the details of how to contact us in the credits at the end of the show, or in our show notes at shownotes.celticmythpodshow.com. Now then, spill the beans. What have we got in this show? And it better be something really special.
Ooh, yes it is, yes. We've got 8 wonderful pieces of music, and I reckon 8's got to be a record for us.
I think it might be, apart from the music specials.
Oh, it might even beat those. All dedicated to Brighid, and a wonderful prayer from our resident bard, Chris Jolliffe.
Excellent.
We've also got a superb piece about the traditions of Imbolg by the wonderful Druid scholar Ellen Everett Hopman, and a lovely piece by John Wilmot of Celtic Ways called Brigid's Cloak. And the cherry on the top of all that lot is a superb competition in which you can win a fabulous CD by the amazing Celtic Twist.
Oh, that'll do it, won't it? I'm really looking forward to it now. I'm guessing that the links to all of the artists will be in the show notes, right?
Definitely. And if you listen carefully, you'll hear 2 tracks in the show by Phil and Dave of Celtic Twist to get you in the mood for the competition to win their classic album, The Visit. Full details of the competition question and how to enter will be found again at the end of the show.
Ooh, excellent. So let's make a start with Dave the Bard's song to Brighid, simply called Brighid. With this song, he tells us that not only did he want to write about the many facets of the goddess Brighid, but also to recognise Saint Brighid at the Church of Kildare, who held vigil over an eternal flame. So let's have a listen to Brighid by Dave the Bard.
There's a tree by the well in the wood that's covered in garland. Clooties and ribbons that drift in the cool morning air. That's where I met an old woman who came from a far land, holding a flame o'er the well and chanting a prayer. Goddess of fire, goddess of healing, goddess of spring, welcome again. She told me she'd been a prison trapped in a mountain, taken by the Queen of Winter from summer's end. But in her prison She heard the spell the people were chanting. 3 days of summer, and snowdrops are flowering again. Goddess of fire, goddess of healing, goddess of spring, welcome again. She spoke of the cell of the oak, where a fire is still burning. 19 priestesses tend the eternal flame. Oh, but of you, my lady, we are still learning. Bride Brigantia, the goddess of many names, goddess of fire, goddess of healing, goddess of spring, welcome again. Then I saw her reflection in the mirrored well, and I looked deep in her face. The old woman gone, a maiden now knelt in her place. And from my pocket I pulled the ribbon, and in honor of her maidenhood I tied it there to the tree by the well in the wood. Goddess of fire, goddess of healing, goddess of spring, welcome again. Welcome again. Welcome again. Welcome again.
That was Dave the Bard with Bridget from his new album Antlered Crown and Standing Stone. What an absolutely beautiful song.
It's incredible, isn't it? You can feel her fire and healing in almost every line. It's a very clever man, that one. Anyway, you'll find all the details about the song and the album in the show notes.
Let's move on to some more great music now. This is Bridget's Song by Celia. Have a listen.
Goddess Bridget, peace weaver, healer, poet, queen, melt the snow and bring the spring. Saint Bridget, gold bender, keeper of the flame, blessed Imbolg, we sing your name. 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 Goddess Bridget, keeper of the flame. Goddess Bridget, peace weaver, healer, poet, queen, melt the snow and bring the Bridget, so beautiful. Bridget, so powerful. People of all paths will gather round to sing your name. Bridget, so beautiful. Bridget, so powerful. People of all paths will gather round to sing your name. Goddess Bridget, peace weaver, healer, poet, queen. Help the soul and bring the spring. Saint Bridget, golden, the keeper of the flame. Blessed Imbolg, we sing your name. 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 Goddess Bridget, keeper of the flame. Goddess Bridget, keeper of the flame. Goddess Bridget, keeper of the flame.
Wow, what a powerful song. You can almost feel that sap rising as the whole song builds up, especially with those drums.
Oh, yes. I can see this one becoming a chant used at Imbolg ceremonies across the world. Thank you, Celia. Check out her contributor page for more details about how to get hold of this powerful track.
Now, as far as I know, this great track is actually only available as a download from Reverb Nation.
Ah,
So we'll make sure that link is in the show notes.
yeah. Now I think it's time that we should take a break from the music and send up a prayer to Brighid with this wonderful piece written by our resident bard, Chris Jolliffe, accompanied by a lovely piece of music by Celtic Twist. Let's listen to Brighid, A Prayer for Imbolg by Chris Jolliffe.
Brighid, A Prayer for Imbolg by Chris Jolliffe. Brighid the high, the holy, the bright, crafter, creator and bringer of light, queen of the threshold, queen of the dawn, queen of the lives that are yet to be born, flame of the firelight, warmth of the hearth, step through these ashes and mark your path. On the threshold there hangs my daughter's red dress, my husband's best jacket, this mantle of mine, for the goddess to touch in her passing and bless. I've smored the old fire in the hope of a sign. May the ewes fill with lambs, may the spring come along, may the morning be wet and the winter be gone. Brighid of the mind and the hand and the heart, many and wondrous gifts you impart. The hammer's bright ring of the smith at his art, the poet's quick wit and the archer's swift dart, the touch of the healer, the druid's long sight, the lengthening day and the shortening night. The maidens are watching your image at rest, a ribboned corn doll, in her own bed is she. And come the sun's rising, thus womanly blessed, they'll greet the young men who seek humbly to see. With high hopes and omens, on breakfast they'll fall, with bannocks and butter and fresh milk for all. The alder's buds burst at the touch of your hand, white petals on black thorns, and through the cold land, on branches of hazel the catkins are born, and the celandine flowers are yellow at morn. The winter is passing from darkness to light. We wait for your coming, bright Brighid, tonight.
That was incredible. Thank you so much, Chris, for your wonderful inspiration. And thank you for sharing it with us.
Yes, it's a fairly amazing poem, isn't it?
Isn't it?
It's also interesting that the music you heard in the background by Celtic Twist is called The Visit, the title track of the album that's our competition prize. And the name refers to a time when they were visited by inspiration.
Ah, the Arwen from the Cauldron of Inspiration.
That's right. That's one name the ancient Celts used for inspiration or divine knowledge. And I'm fairly sure that Chris Jolliffe has one hidden in his house somewhere.
Yeah, you might be right there.
Anyway, let's move on and have some more music.
Good idea. What did you have in mind?
Let's have a listen to the wonderful music of Jenna Green with her track, Bridget.
Be with me here in this place. Wrap your arms around me, let your magic surround me. Help me to stand in your grace. My steps have faltered, my wisdom has altered. I have been such a fool. Turned away from all you gave. Now I cry to you to save my soul. Lead me back to you. On the brink of my dreams I turned away. I made so many mistakes. Just in reach of my place I went astray. And now I'll do all that it takes to find a new way to begin, to find that divine spark within, to find the truth in myself and put love above all else. Bridget, oh Bridget, Bridget, oh Bridget. Bright Queen, exalted one, power of the golden sun, be with me here in this place. Help me mend all the broken, the harsh words I've spoken. All I've done, help me face. Forgive myself but not forget. Move forward without regret. Learn to stand my ground. Heal the aftermath. Stay steady on my path. Never again to back down. On the brink of my dreams I turned away and made so many mistakes. Just in reach of my place I went astray. And now I'll do all that it takes to find a new way to
Lovely. That was Jenna Green with Bridget from her latest album, Wild Earth Child. All the details can be found in the show notes.
I think that actually is a very inspiring song. It seems to be about a woman losing her way, making her mistakes, and turning to the goddess for guidance, and learning to accept what happened and move forwards.
I think we've all been there. Definitely lessons for us all.
Yes, powerful stuff. Now, with all that new hope rising with the spring, let's introduce our competition.
Oh, yes. Well, we're very lucky to be able to give away a copy of the superb CD by Celtic Twist called The Visit. It's a super album with a great mix of traditional Celtic music, original Celtic music, and brand new music with a Celtic twist.
Oh, dear.
Seriously, it's a great album. And to get you in the mood, have a listen to Celtic Twist as Phil's wonderful harp summons up the Fairy Queen with the track She Beg She More. That was Phil Holland from Celtic Twist with the track She Begs She More, the Fairy Queen, from her album Fairies. Did you know that She Begs She More literally means small fairy, great fairy?
No, I didn't. I like it though. It kind of tells you what you need to know. Fairies come in all sizes. Some do little things and some are very important.
Absolutely. Anyway, do we have a question for this superb competition for the Celtic Twist CD?
Yes, we do. So, okay, here we go. On the album The Visit, how many tracks are original Holland and Palmley compositions? Do you want that again?
Yes, please. And a clue as to how I can find out.
Oh, okay, right. On the album The Visit, how many tracks are original Holland and Palmley compositions? And if you go to their website, you'll find the answer.
Ah, okay. So I know the website address will be in the show notes, but will you tell us what it is at the end of the show as well?
Well, I might. Yeah, okay then. Now, are you ready for some fabulous traditional information about Imbolg from Ellen Everett Hopman?
Definitely. What have you got?
Well, Ellen is much respected for her knowledge and research in the Celtic field, and her contributor page will tell you much more about this fascinating lady. She's written a wonderful book called Scottish Herbs and Fairy Lore, which I really, really love, with an absolutely superb piece about the Imbolg festival in it. And with thanks to Ellen, we'd like to bring that to you now.
The Festival of Imbolg, February the 1st to the 2nd.
Renamed Candlemas by the Christian Church, this fire festival is an ancient Celtic observance in honour of the goddess Brighid, or Breed. It's a legal Scottish quarter day when rents and other contracts were once due.
If Candlemas Day be bright and fair, half the winter is to come, and mair. If Candlemas Day be dark and foul, half the winter was over at Yule.
Girls and women decorate a straw doll made from the last sheaf of the harvest, with flowers and shells. Dressed in white, they carry the Brighid, bride doll, around the town from door to door, finally putting her to rest in a bed of rushes by a hearth. A stick of birch, a slacún, is placed in the doll's hands, symbolic of her magical power to soften the weather. The next morning, the ashes of the hearth were examined to see if Breed has left a footprint. If no mark is found, an offering has to be made in Breed's honour, such as a chicken, which is buried at a place where 3 streams meet. A party is held at Imbolg for all girls of the village that features music, food and dancing till dawn. Imbolg is the milk festival that celebrates the lactation of the ewes. In a time before supermarkets, it was impossible to purchase or obtain milk until herd animals were pregnant and lactating, which happens just before the ewes give birth. The availability of new milk was a cause for rejoicing, the first sign of the return of the fires of life and the renewal of the seasonal cycle of farm activity. To celebrate the first sparks of spring, candles were placed on the windowsills. Imbolg was also the time of the first ploughings. The plough and other agricultural tools were richly blessed with whiskey before the first furrow was cut, and the fields were seined with a burning brand to ward off bad luck. Winter stores of food such as vegetables, grains and meats were low, so milk dishes were cooked for the feast. Butter was made from new milk, and the churn was dressed to look like the goddess Brighid. Omens were read in the weather. Good weather at Imbolg meant that winter would continue. But if a hedgehog or a snake emerged from its den on Imbolg, it meant that winter was on the wane. This is the origin of the American celebration called Groundhog Day. Rain at the time of Imbolg meant a good summer for the crops.
The Goddess at Imbolg. The goddess associated with this festival is Breed. She is the daughter of the doctor, Jaia, the good god, and of Boan, the cow goddess of the Boyne. She is patroness of the Druids and Bards, and a triple fire goddess whose spheres are poetry, healing, and smithcraft. She is also the goddess of motherhood, appealed to by women in labour. When a woman is giving birth, the midwife stands in the doorway with her hands on the door jambs and welcomes Brighid in.
Brighid, Brighid, come in. Thy welcome is truly made. Give thy relief to the woman, and give the conception to the sacred three.
The midwife places 3 drops of water on the child's brow when it's born, in remembrance of Brighid and of the sacred three. Equal-armed solar crosses, Brighid's own special symbol, are woven from rushes and hung in the house and barn as protective talismans on the night of the festival. The rushes are spread under the table on the night of the feast and woven after the family dinner. Leftover rushes are used to make Brighid's bed by the fire and scattered around the barn for luck. In the Highlands, these solar crosses are also made before weddings and tucked under the mattress to ensure fertility. A bride's girdle, Crys Brighid, is made of a straw rope that's about 9 feet long. The rope is tied to make a circle through which the family passes. Men generally step through it, and women usually pull it down over their heads. 3 tiny solar crosses are tied to the rope. An image of the goddess is made and drawn around the edges of the field in a cart, followed by singing and dancing townsfolk and clergy. Highland women make a figurine out of the butter churn and carry it from house to house, bringing the blessings of Brighid to every door. They collect cakes, bread and butter as they go, to be eaten with the men later at a village dance. Holy wells are also visited on this day. It's very good luck to recite the Descent of Bridges at Imbolg. Here's a slightly repaganised version.
Praises of Brighid. Brighid, daughter of Dougal the Brown, son of Eve, son of Art, son of Con, son of Criara, son of Carbray, son of Cass, son of Cormac, son of Cartoch, son of Con. Brighid of the Mantles, Brighid of the Peat Heap, Brighid of the Twining Hair, Brighid of the Augury, Brighid of the White Feet, Brighid of the Carmeness, Brighid of the White Palms, Brighid of the Kine, Brighid, woman comrade, Brighid of the Peat Heap, Brighid, woman helper, Brighid, woman mild. Each day and each night that I say the descent of Brighid, I shall not be slain, I shall not be wounded, I shall not be put in a cell, I shall not be gashed, I shall not be torn in sunder, I shall not be despoiled, I shall not be downtrodden, I shall not be made naked, I shall not be rent. Nor sun shall burn me, nor fire shall burn me, nor beam shall burn me, nor moon shall burn me, nor river shall drown me, nor brine shall drown me, nor flood shall drown me, nor water shall drown me. Nightmare shall not lie on me, black sleep shall not lie on me, spell sleep shall not lie on me, Luar Luish shall not lie on me. I am under the keeping of Brighid, my companion, my beloved.
Luish means rowan and Luar means ashes, so this reference may refer to a spell that uses rowan wood. Candles are placed in the windows to honour the rekindling of the fires of spring and to welcome the goddess. a dish of water or salt, healing threads, ribbons, cloths, or a cloak are left out all night to receive Brigid's blessing, which are later used for healing throughout the year. The early Christian church recognised that the people would not give up their beloved goddess, so they morphed her and many of her stories and traditions into Saint Brigid of Kildare.
Now that was really fascinating. Thank you so much, Ellen.
Yes, we learned a lot from that one, didn't we? You can find out more about Ellen Everett Hopman and where to get her book, Scottish Herbs and Fairy Lore, in the show notes.
Okay, now I think it's time we had some music.
Oh, yes.
I was thinking of Cernunnos Rising and their track called Imbolg, Time of Great Potential. Take it away, George.
Imbolg womb of darkness, feel the pulse of Mother Earth and the rhythm of her weaving and the quickening seed to birth. Time of new beginnings, new and open bud, raise the golden sap of life from deep within the mud. Keeper of deep places, gift of life you bring. Your song, it lives within our hearts. Your song is what we'll sing. Transformation, wakener of the spring. May your song last till Maytime, and the song our hearts will sing. Time of great potential, we stand at spring's dawn light, and you brighten our horizon and bring us spring's twilight. Dark days behind us, bring focus this coming year. May your song weave our path, and the mirror of truth be clear. Keeper of deep places, gift of life you bring. Your song, it lives within our hearts. Your song is what we'll sing.
Great stuff. That was George Nicholas with Cernunnos Rising and their track, Imbolg, Time of Great Potential, from the album Wild Soul.
That was really great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's really starting to make us aware of the quickening in the earth. Absolutely love it.
Me too. Shall we listen to the wonderful story of Brigid's Cloak now?
Yes. John Wilmot, well known as the organiser behind Celtic Ways, the guided mythological tours in Ireland, has been recently running the Bards in the Woods project, and along with his amazing harpist partner, Claire Roche, is creating the bardic CD, Ogmar's Tale of the Trees. He's written a superb piece telling us about the cloak of Brighid in the form of small stories, showing us all the traditions and lore associated with her mantle, and has generously given us permission to bring it to you now. Brighid's Cloak by John Wilmot.
Brighid's cloak is told of through stories and traditions as being a cloak that covers all of the earth, covers sacred places, protects us as clothing, as a small cloth to hang to honour Brighid, down to being a small clootie offering on a tree beside a well. The Cloak of the Earth. Brighid is told of as being carer of everything through which life flows and the elements that wrap around life. Many of us call this being attuned to nature and the seasons. We create art, rituals and craft that inspires us to have reverence and engage in what small part we can do to care for the earth and the carriers of life upon it. One of my favourite stories is our local Birth of Brighid. It tells of the ending of an ancient ice age on Earth, when no life was roaming here. Through the first melting of ice, the warmer seas flowed over the ice, and its new strength cut out the rock to form caves on what we now call Ceish Coron. The water cut deep to touch the other world, where the Cailleach, the Morrigu, the Morrigan, was sleeping. She absorbed this new sea into her womb, and within it gave the first life. When the water container of her womb broke and flowed out of her, it cut 4 rivers north, west, south and east over what is now the Erin land, and soaked into the lands around them. And then Brighid was born, the first life on earth. Brighid, Brio na Saigad, Brighid, to be midwife, to guide and nurture all other life arriving on earth, nourished by the waters. All life on earth needs a cloak to survive. The trees and plants with their soil and sun-kissed and water-nourished forms, the animals and ourselves cloaked with our body temples. All cloaks that need care while Brighid endlessly works her magic. Care becomes sacredness, and inside is the temple. The cloak of the earth with its Brighid womb, her temple within. The Cloak of Kildara. This is a well-told Brighid story, perhaps the best known about her cloak. Brighid is said to have gone to the chieftain of the land that was about to become Kildara, later Kildare. She asked if he could donate some land to her for use as a convent and monastic village. Brighid guided the chieftain to the place where she said would be the perfect centre of her intended sanctuary. It was beside a forest where they could easily collect firewood and graft branches for replacement trees. There was also a good deep lake nearby that would provide water. The surrounding land was very fertile. The chieftain laughed at her idea and refused to donate any land to her. Brighid prayed for a miracle to soften the king's heart, and she received an answer. Brighid returned to the chieftain, smiled, and said,
Will you donate to me as much land as my cloak that I'm wearing now will cover?
The chieftain couldn't work out if Brighid was telling a joke or was just simple, a kind word used in Ireland to describe someone mentally disabled. As Brighid's cloak was so small, the chieftain decided there was no harm in going along with this woman's whim, and so he said,
Yes, go ahead. It's yours. Whatever your wee cloak can cover.
Brighid was accompanied by 19 nuns those seeking sanctuary to start the first Brighid retreat. She spread her cloak on the ground and asked 4 of the nuns to hold each corner of her cloak and walk in opposite directions to stretch the cloak as far as they could to get the best that they could out of this deal. The 4 nuns kept walking, north, south, east and west, and the cloak kept stretching until it covered many acres of land. The chieftain was not angry. He didn't feel deceived, but was astonished. He was aware that the blessing of some kind of miracle had just taken place. The chieftain kneeled before Brighid and promised her not only the gift of the land, but help with building, food supplies, and tools to get them started. That chieftain, unfortunately, we do not know his name, is also said to have not allowed anyone on his lands to starve and need food, water and healing, and Brighid and her mission helped him to make this possible. The chieftain and his people were forever within Brighid's cloak, as were the rest of Erin soon after. The Cloak of Brighid. The most active Brighid Day tradition in Ireland today is the custom of putting a white or red cloth outside on the door or a window of a home or on a special tree near the house. This is done on what is said to be the eve of St. Brigid's Day, at sunset or dusk of January the 31st. This cloth was left out overnight, and some people leave Brigid's bread on the windowsill too. It's believed that St. Brigid passes by and blesses the cloth. In the morning, strictly at sunrise, the cloth was taken back into the home, dew water wrung out, collected, placed in a jar and stored. The cloth then dried out, folded and put away for the year. The folklore medicine tells that this cloth and the dew water saved has powers of curing the curses of sore throats, headaches and toothaches. If anyone in the home was overcome with these cursing illness symptoms, the cloth is brought out to wrap around the head of the afflicted person. A few drops of the collected dew water is added to more water to sprinkle or wipe on the patient's face too. People place this cloth on animals to heal them, on wombs of women seeking to conceive, and even given to people to hold in hospitals and hospices to open up their faith and healing. This cloth was known as the Brighid, and it's created in different ways in different parts of Erin. In some areas it's a red cloth, such as on the Donegal Islands, and where people lived on Inishmurray Island off the Sligo coast. Red is the choice of many people living on the coasts of the north and west of Ireland. Elsewhere, white Brighid cloths are preferred. Tradition in some places tells us to embroider, to sew in an additional Brigid's cross each year, until the Brighid has 7 crosses embroidered on it. Some people take this further and say that the Brighid cannot be put out for Brigid blessing and to collect morning dew until it's 7 years old with 7 crosses embroidered. Taking this down a stricter path again, it's also said that the embroidered crosses must only be sewn by a girl or woman who has never conceived or given birth to a child yet. Of course, some people of Erin are still hanging out Brighid cloths inherited through their parents, or maybe grandparents and other relations, until their own cloth is 7 years old with 7 crosses sewn in. Another name you may hear for the Brighid is Brigid's mantle. The cloak of the trees and the hanging cluties. This tradition seems to be a merging of the Brigid cloak and Brigid cross traditions, and performed all year round, but with a special emphasis at Imbolg, Brigid celebrations time. There seems to be 2 traditions going on at the trees by Sacred Well where people leave their cluties. The more modern tradition is for people to leave items connected to their curse, which they will return to collect when the curse is gone, such as a smoker's lighter, a heavy drinker's bottle opener, and spectacles, even crutches by the most faithful. The older tradition is to leave something with a prayer woven into it that slowly goes back to nature and releases the healing. A linen cloth or cotton cloth or wool cloth are quite common for this. I'm not sure about a recent trend to hang lots of red and white tissues though, as they do cause a littering problem at sacred wells after a rain. I am inclined to suggest make something from rushes, reeds and grasses to weave your healing prayers and wishes to hang on these trees, rather than precious cloths, your blankets that are more worthy of being at your home. Visitors to these wells, seeing the colourful tokens of prayer and offering, are deeply moved by this though. They do remind the visitors of the presence of sacredness, the presence of a Brigid's cloak being offered to those who humble to its protection. The cloak of your life. If we're open to it, accept the illumination of it, I feel we can all be blessed with Brigid's cloak. The stories give visual and warming clues of how this can be, and is so. The trinity of the Brigid being and the four directions of the Brigid cross I personally hold as powerful symbols. We have 4 seasons, 4 quadrants of an astrology birth chart, and I believe 4 stages or octaves of our life. And 3 of those cause us to call upon Brigid's cloak, a trinity. As individuals, after we are born, we discover what and who we are, how to move parts of our body, mind and spirit, and how to coordinate them together. We go on to learning and developing our crafts, more than our smithcraft, but the handling of tools and materials, and how we share and interact with people while doing this. We discover how we are as a team member in a family, with friends, and in some of our tasks. I find it interesting how unions are symbolised with something of special metal, whether it's a ring, a sword, or a dowry of coins. We move on into how we are farmers, finding out how to provide not just for ourselves but for others through our gardens, window boxes, farms and our vocations, our jobs. It's through this we nourish and heal, not just ourselves, but those around us. We learn the dance of men and women, masculine and feminine together. We move on into service, as crones, as wise men, as grannies and grandpas. We guide those who are moving through the 3 stages, the 3 octaves we have lived through. I collectively believe this is poetry, and we can use words and music and also art and use dance, movement, and an overall cloak of mentoring to inspire those younger than us, who actually teach us what to serve. Together, these 4 stages, these 4 octaves, I imagine as the cloak of Brigid pulled in the 4 directions, as at Kildare, and each of those directions served by the 4 rivers in the story of the birth of Brighid. In the middle of this is our Meath, our centre of sanctuary, our hearth of Brighid, and from this hearth we pour the waters of our 4 rivers to look after all we have dedicated ourselves to look after, under our own cloaks of Brighid.
That was fantastic, John, and very inspirational.
Yes, thank you so much. Those really do bring home the link between the fire in our hearth and the fire in the spring, and we all rejoice as Brigid's mantle is seen once again.
We certainly do. In fact, it's come early this year. There are daffodils blooming.
Already? Yeah. Astounding.
Well, Kellyanna picks up the rhythm of the land for us as well, with her song from Lady Moon, called Brigid.
Blessed Brighid, burning bright, lead us from the darkest night. Triple goddess of new life, shine your flame on us tonight, perpetual flame of love and light. Wise guardian of the hearth, you bless our homes and our lives. Keeper of the healing light, shine your light on us tonight, shine on us in love and light. Sacred muse of poetry, inspire creativity. Sing to us your sacred song, shine your spark on us tonight, fiery spark of love and light, shine your flame on us tonight, perpetual flame of love and light.
She is so good. That was Kellyanna with her song Brighid from the album Lady Moon.
Wonderful. I love Kellyanna's music.
She's good.
And I love how she goes through each of the aspects of the goddess in each verse. There's so much in it. Fabulous song.
It is. I've always liked that one. I think we should remind everyone about the competition before heading out with our final song, though. What do you think?
Okay, sounds like a good idea. The Fabulous Celtic Twist have given us a copy of their great CD, The Visit, to give away to one lucky winner who can answer a simple question.
Simple?
Yes, well, if you look carefully at their website,
all
it's not
right
too
then.
hard.
All right then. Okay, what's the question?
Well, on the album The Visit, how many tracks are original Holland and Palmley compositions? Do you want that again?
Yes, please.
On the album The Visit, how many tracks are original Holland and Palmley compositions? If you go to their website, you'll find the answer.
Right.
Mm.
Now, the website address will be in the show notes. But for those of us that want to know straight away, what is it?
Oh my goodness, no patience. Anyway, if you insist, if you go to www.hollandandpalmley.wix, that's wix.com, /Celtic Twist #, you'll find them. Really?
I'll never remember that.
My goodness, it is long. Don't worry, just rewind and write it down. Or have a look at the show notes for this episode at shownotes.celticmythpodshow.com. And when you've got the answer, send us an email to Gary and Ruth at celticmythpodshow.com with competition in the subject line and your answer in the body of the email. Good luck. Sorted.
Yep, sorted. Now, let's blast our way into spring with the full force of the quickening.
What on earth are you talking about?
I mean, let's listen to the amazing spiral dance with their Imbolg track, The Quickening, from the album of the same name.
Oh, excellent. Yes, bring it on.
spring maid from winter's crown, brightest queen of morning song. Brighid, with your white swan sing, move us to the cusp of spring. See the ravens come on wing, 'tis the time of quickening. Keeper of the sacred flame, from within the darkness came. You spring maid from winter's crown, brightest queen of morning song. Sweet serpent rises from the earth, awaken fallen seeds to life. Moving from the bright one's hand, fire burns within the land. Keeper of the sacred flame, from within the darkness came. New spring maid from winter's crown, brightest queen of morning song. Spring maid from winter's crown, brightest queen of morning song. The smith that forges iron craft, light bringer on the spiral path. Sage and healer guide the plough, drink from the white redded cow. Keeper of the sacred flame, from within the darkness came. New spring maid from winter's crown, brightest queen of morning song. From the east the rising sun keeps alive the sacred flame, the eternal fire for all to see, the giver of the prophecy. Keeper of the sacred flame, from within the darkness came. New spring maid from winter's crown, brightest queen of morning song. Keeper of the sacred flame, from within the darkness came. New spring maid from winter's crown, brightest queen of morning song.
That was the blood-pounding sound of The Quickening by Australian band Spiral Dance, from the album of the same name.
Oh, they're amazing, aren't they?
They most certainly are. Keep your ears open for more of them in the future, and find out all you need to know about them on their contributor page. Links, as usual, are in the show notes.
Yay! I think that covers everything.
It does, sadly. So we must now leave you safely tucked up under Bridget's mantle, with all of our blessings, and say... Hulvaur. On the threshold there hangs my daughter's red dress, my husband's best joke, this mantle of mine.
My husband's best joke?
Jacket. Husband's best jacket.
Have you heard the one about the three Irishmen walked into a bar?
Jacket. Sorry, Chris. Did you want to make any other noises before I start again?
I was well away from the microphone while I was going... It's slurping my lips, do you mind?
Sound like an epileptic chipmunk.
Never seen an epileptic chipmunk.
at shownotes.celticmythpodshow. What?
We're doing a show about fish?
Apparently.
You've been listening to the Celtic Myth Pod Show, available from CelticMythPodShow.com. We hope you've enjoyed the show and will stay tuned for the next episode. You can send us an email or some voice feedback to Gary and Ruth at CelticMythPodShow.com. We'd like to say a special thank you to Kulan's Hounds, who provided us with the theme music for our show. You can find them at www.sfhounds.com. We'd also like to say a massive thank you to Anne Roos, Kira, Celia, Dave the Bard, The Dolman, Keltoria, Kevin Skinner, Phil Thornton, SJ Tucker and Spiral Dance. All of these wonderful friends have given us unrestricted access to their music. More details about each of them can be found in the special Friends of the Show page on our website. You'll find links to all of these wonderful artists in the show notes at shownotes.celticmythpodshow.com.